Why hello there people of the internet, welcome to another video where today we're gonna check out Citrine's Last Wish. First things first though, I am a Warframe partner so I got a bunch of stuff for free. Disclosure and all that. This update introduces a new node to Mars called Tiana's Pass, which houses a new style of defense called Mirror Defense. Here you're going to be alternating between fighting the Grenier and Corpus, and the mission is level 25 to 30 or 125 to 130 in Steel Path. This mission is, for the most part, standard static defense. You go into a mission and there's a static crystal objective that you have to defend. However, once you defeat the first wave of Grenier, you're going to move through the void into a Corpus tile set and you have to defend a different crystal from a wave of Corpus as well. Succeeding the defense against both the Grenier and the Corpus counts as 1 round, and you'll be rewarded 5 Balearic as well as 5 Rania crystals on top of normal rotation rewards. Additionally, you will find floating crystal fragments throughout all the levels, and if you collect 50 of them, you'll be given 5 additional crystals every time you do so. The number of crystals you get here is ramped up in Steel Path, so if you can do it in Steel Path, I would highly recommend you do so. Now, all the new gear that was added with this update, that being Citrine, Steflos, Corufel, and the 5 new arcanes, drop in this mirror defense mode as rotation rewards. So if you want the new stuff, this is where you want to be. Now, the crystals that you get throughout the mirror defense mission are used in OTAC's store when you select the Unearthed Citrine option. They're basically the pity system. So if you get unlucky in the mirror defense, you can still go over to the Necralisk and buy some of the things you're missing from OTAC. He sells all the bits and bobs that he would otherwise get from the mission, plus some extra stuff. So he has everything for Citrine, Steflos, Corufel. He sells all 5 of the arcanes, the Citrine Prex, as well as the Citrine's Last Wish factory scene. The new arcanes are pretty interesting. We have Arcane Steadfast for Warframes, where you have a 20% chance whenever you cast an ability to make your next 3 abilities free, which is pretty cool. Then there is Primary Plated Rounds, which on a reload makes you deal increased damage per round loaded based on maximum magazine size, and it lasts for 10 seconds, which is quite a lot actually. Then we have Arcane Doubleback, where for a Warframe you get a 25% damage resistance for 4 seconds per dodge, double jump, and bullet jump, and it stacks up to 3 times. Up next we have Secondary Encumber, which gives you a 24% chance to trigger a second random status effect, which is very cool once again, and we top it off with Secondary Kinship, where if you buff an ally you get 20% crit chance per buff for your secondary weapon. Citrine's melee weapon, named the Corufel, is a heavy scythe that, on a heavy attack, fires a rather large projectile that does decent damage, kind of like a gunblade. The stats on it are also pretty solid, so I have a feeling I'm gonna like this one an awful lot. The Steflos, on the other hand, is a little bit strange. It's a shotgun that fires a massive projectile with very short range. However, every time this projectile hits something, it gains extra duration, so if you line up enough enemies and then you shoot through them, this thing will just keep flying forever. Though the damage, at least with the basic ragtag setup that I slapped on just to demonstrate it in a video, doesn't seem to be all that good. I don't know though, I haven't tested it properly yet, so make sure to tune in for the follow-up videos where I will cover both the weapons as well as Citrine more in depth. Next on the menu we have some new augments, starting off with Mesmer Shield for Revenant's Mesmer Skin. This gives your Mesmer Skin 50% extra power strength, and allies within affinity sharing range will be granted a maximum of 5 charges of Mesmer Skin. Next up, we have Merulina Guardian for Yrali's Merulina, where enemies eliminated during sea snares heal Merulina for 20% of their health. Plus, on top of that, when you heal, you gain 200% extra reload speed and fire rate for secondary weapons for 20 seconds. Then we have Cathode Current for Gyre's Cathode Grace, where eliminating an enemy while Cathode Grace is active will release an additional discharge from Rotor Swell with 200% damage and extend its duration by the same amount. And finally, we have Shattered Storm for Gara's Shattered Lash, where whenever you break your mass vitrify wall with Shattered Lash, enemies hit by the glass explosion will be dealt your Splinter Storm damage at 100% strength. This is actually really nice, especially when combined with the change they did to Gara, where you no longer have to be on the outside of your mass vitrify wall when you break it with Shattered Lash to get your Splinter Storm stacked up. You can be on the inside as well now. And the final, what I consider to be big change, has to do with Tau Forge shards. So, the way it works now is the base chance to get a Tau Forge shard is 20%. And every time you don't get a Tau Forge shard, it will go up by additional 20% until you get one, at which point it resets. However, and I actually really like this, it's separated by shard type. So if you fight, let's just say Nira, which drops Ember shards, and you don't get a Tau Forged one, the next time you fight Nira, the chance of getting a Tau 4 shard will be increased by 20%. And that is pretty much it for the big stuff. So I thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, let me know what you think about this update in the comment section down below. If you want to check out the full patch notes, because I don't cover everything, I just pick the biggest stuff for these kinds of videos, I will leave a link to them in the video description. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.